You too.
All right. Well, is this market for real? That's a question that many investors are asking. Or are investors just whistling past the proverbial graveyard?
Here's one of the whistlers right
Someone's
now.
whistling
Let's
right
bring
here.
him in. He's with our Bulls and Bears panel. We have Jonathan Hoenig, Brian Westbury, Gary Kaltbaum, and the always whistling Toby Smith, who is doing so right now. So, Toby, what do you think?
Well, an expansion usually lasts 4 to 5 years. Bull markets usually last, 36 to 48 months. So this is the natural reaction. We get a correction, and the smart money is buying. And the smart money is buying because we're in, let's call it the third inning of a 9-inning game. And to Sam's point, who basically covered every friggin' point I was going to say, what are you going to do? You're going to buy a 0.5% bond. You're going to buy a treasury bill that's going to be probably down 10% in value. This is really the game, and the U.S. is the place.
Yeah, Brian, I mean, to Toby's point, maybe the situation in Japan will resolve itself. 5%, according to Bank of America, 5% of the S&P's profits are exposed to Japan. I mean, set that aside.
Sure.
It's really, I think, about the euro debt crisis, about the Middle East, and with the euro debt crisis, it's a banking issue. Do you see these two problems still percolating to the end of the year? Where do you see it going?
No, we're going to resolve these problems. We always do. But I promise you there will be more problems crop up. But the thing is, the market already has priced that in. This market is still very cheap. I mean, I use a 5% 10-year Treasury yield. So remember, it's trading at about 3.2 right now. I'm using a 5% as a discount rate in my model. So I'm being very conservative. And it still shows that the Dow is worth 15,500 given earnings.
Okay, well, that's what Brian thinks. Jonathan Hoenig, that was just in time. At least we got his analysis.
Production booth.
Jonathan, you are an Ayn Rand conservative. You believe that markets are mostly rational all the time. You see them as being more rational now than ever, and it's time to get your money back in, right? Where do you put it?
Indeed, David, I'm an objectivist, and I do think there are opportunities, there are places to make money in this market. And, of course, there's a lot of very serious news as well. Investors should, in my opinion, follow J.P. Morgan's advice. If you're scared, sell down to the sleeping point. But I am finding some opportunities, some of which, ironically, even in Japan. I know it sounds pretty ridiculous, but take a look, for example, at some stocks like Mitsui, MITSY, Mitsubishi, MSBHY. These stocks are higher now than they were before the quake. So don't make it an all or none, but look for opportunities where they present themselves.
Gary Kay, you are a market historian. You saw what happened last year with the market cracking up over the euro debt crisis and the BP oil crisis. And now we have possible talk of what are called E-bonds, where the euro ECB may issue bonds. That could add to more bond glut, more yields going higher. And, I got to tell you something. Germany is still threatening to say, look, we may ditch this whole thing. Wouldn't that be a problem?
Potentially. But look, there's one thing that has not been mentioned yet. We have unprecedented liquidity from a Fed that's gone out of its way and actually has even mentioned the markets. They are attacking the markets. They want them going higher. They believe if markets go higher, the consumer gets better and starts spending more. The worry is that's going to end. It's most definitely going to end. 0% interest rates cannot be here forever. And one thing I'm watching closely, would talk about earnings. I think it was about a week ago, Nike, the stock crashed because they said the cost of it to make everything's gone up. If we start to see that in a lot of companies because of this commodity move to the upside, we're not going to see the market at 15,000.
Okay. I just want to show you one of the props that we have here as anchors. We have a great staff. This is Farrah Martin's notes that we have. We have good notes from Gary Kaltbaum. We have great notes from Jonathan Hoenig, what he thinks, what he believes. Kind of gives us a little primer. We have good notes from Gary Kaltbaum. And then on Toby Smith, it says, awaiting. The word awaiting. So, Toby, we are awaiting.
The problem is
your wise words of where we put our money.
The bar closed down very late last night. That's the problem.
Not late enough. I think the bigger issue that we've all sort of got around is that what happens in June when the Fed stops buying $100 billion a month of bonds, right? And the market is saying that they're not going to stop. The other thing, if the Fed really wanted to prop up the consumer, they'd take the $86 billion they made in profit last year and put about $50 billion into buying homes across the United States. I mean, they bought every other asset in essence, and it would work.
Gary Kay, what do you think?
Look, the bottom line, again, I think there's going to be QE3, QE4, QE5. Bernanke has stated markets. Okay. This is what they're looking at.
Brian, we cut you off because we had technical difficulties. Go ahead and make your final point.
Shoot. Yeah, well, I don't think there's going to be any. There's not going to be any more QEs, anything. There's been too many. But, you know, the interesting thing is interest rates can go up right now without having a major impact on the market. You know, back when we had 1% rates in 04 and 05, people were all worried when the Fed was going to raise rates. And, in fact, the market went up all the time while the Fed was raising rates in 2005 and 2006. And it's going to happen again. This is not the end of the rally when the Fed turns around and starts to tighten.
How can they raise rates with the Fed's $2 trillion balance sheet and all the borrowing in this country going on?
Well, they have to. I mean, we can't have the Fed with 0%. 0% interest rates are crazy, so they're going to have to do it, and they're going to have to sell off all these bonds.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to get them back into the banking system.
That's got to be the last word. We have really run out of time. Thanks very much to our Bulls and Bears panel. Here's what's ahead.